just a little bit of this cut here. Everybody knows this track. The actual fundamental original recording of this was great on vinyl, but the CD not so much. This is the high resolution 192 kilohertz 24-bit version.
Amazing. Okay. Now let's run an experiment. What we're going to do is switch back to 2-channel. It will still be an incredible recording, but we will lose the environment. We'll lose the chapel. So we'll play 5 seconds still in Atmos, and then we'll change to just the left and right channels. Is the power of multi-channel done correctly. It's not about robots and spaceships, it's about recreating a believable environment. And if you walk around the room whilst this track is playing in Atmos mode, it's very much like walking around King's College Chapel in Cambridge. Okay? There's enough spatial clues in the system to make you believe. So let's investigate surround sound a little bit deeper, and the reason that we have our high-end audiophile Rubik's cubes is for this explanation. Now, conventional surround sound is floor-based, and what I mean is that you have either 5 or 7 channels around you, but at floor level. And the way surround sound works is quite simple. If I had a balance control here and turned it fully right, we would send all of the audio to the right speaker. If I then had a balance control on the wall here and turned it fully clockwise, I could send the audio to the back. And we could keep going around the room like this. It would get quite boring after a while, but we could do that. So look at the Rubik's Cube, okay? The bottom layer is floor-based surround sound. Left, right, backwards, forwards. Above you, you'll see height speakers. Now this is a game changer, because now we don't just move left, right, we can move up and down, okay? It's object-based audio, so by manipulating these 2 loudspeakers, I could place an object here in the room. By manipulating this speaker, and this speaker, I could place an object right here. In fact, I could place an object of sound anywhere in this room. Now, to demonstrate this, we will use a track from the Dolby demonstration disc. And this will be a synthesized sound object that will move seamlessly throughout the room. It won't be tied to any one speaker. If you're sat in the middle here, it will appear to be floating in space. All right? Object-based audio. People smiling in the middle here, so you obviously got that, yeah, that ability to move sound through air. Now this this amplifier, the AVR 850, has a few tricks up its sleeve, as we'd say in England. One of these tricks is a optimization system called Dirac. Now Dirac comes from Pro Cinema, and the easiest way I can demonstrate this is actually to switch it off. I'm a big fan of using sounds that we will relate to. Now, coming from England, I have a constant reference for a rainstorm. And all I want you to ask yourselves is, how real does this sound? As simple as that, okay? We'll play it once with Dirac off, and then we'll play it one more time with Dirac switched on. Simple question, how real does this sound? Same track, Dirac is now switched on. This will all get very real. You might need an umbrella at this point. Notice how the speakers just disappear, yeah? You start to believe in a reality. Has three modes of optimization. The first is frequency. And the frequency optimization gives every speaker the same voice. So you get this seamless movement of audio with the same timbre. It also works in phase, and it's not simple left-right phase. This is phase through frequency throughout the entire driver array. Now, one of the biggest challenges for a loudspeaker designer is to keep this in phase. Okay? Dirac uses mixed phase filters to phase align this entire array. And sonically, it's like taking an old analog camera and turning the focus all of a sudden the picture will snap into focus. The same thing happens when the speaker is phase correct. The third mode of operation, and this is probably the most important. The second time I played this, did you feel like you were hearing more raindrops? There was more information. More information to believe in. Well, the third mode of optimization is in impulse response. Now, an impulse signal could simply be a hand clap, like this. A signal that goes loud real quick, but should also become quiet very quickly. It would in an anechoic chamber. In our listening rooms, we have issues with reverb and reflections. So what happens in our room is that the signal becomes loud very quickly and quiet slowly. That's a disaster, because that slowness is now covering information. What you heard the second time we played it, and you experienced more raindrops, was Dirac's ability to make the downslope quicker, uncovering information that was previously hidden. Now, it doesn't just work with rainstorms, it works with the Doors, the Stones, or anything else you want to play. It is probably the best equalization system in the world. Now, I've noticed that our neighbours are being a little bit naughty. We had an agreement at the start of the show that nobody would play beyond 75 decibels. Okay? What they have failed to notice is that I have 6,500 watts of energy sat here. But more than that, I have a Boeing 747. Okay? So what we're going to do is launch an aeroplane straight through the middle of the room. The engines will start at the end of the runway here. The plane will charge towards you at 220 kilometers per hour before taking off roughly where you're sat there, sir, and then disappearing through the ceiling. Let's give this a go. Some lucky people just went on holiday. If you've ever parked at business parking at London Heathrow Airport, you have a constant reference for that sound. The plane takes off every 45 seconds and you step out of your car and yeah. So let's bring all of this together. What have we shown you? Well, we've shown you the system's ability to recreate a real environment, King's College Chapel. We've shown the system's ability to move a sound object seamlessly through space, through the room. An ability to uncover information in a rainstorm and make it sound real. The Boeing 747, that was just for those guys. Okay? So let's bring it together in the form of Mad Max. Before I do this, let me tell you something. We were asked by Dolby to put a system together for the ISE show 2.5 months ago in Amsterdam. And we would run 35-minute presentations, very similar to this. And at the end there'd be a Q&A, a question and answer session. And Dolby would send a Dolby person in to answer questions. Very early on in the show, a Dolby person came over to me and said, hey Andy, this system is absolutely incredible. I said, thank you, very kind of you. He said, no, you do not understand. I am the guy who mastered Mad Max in the studio. And I've just heard information that I never heard in the studio. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a home cinema system that is able to outperform a cinema and potentially able to outperform a mastering studio where a film was made. Okay? Let's go. Mad Max.
they come again, worming their way into the black matter of my brain.
You promised to help us.
I tell myself, they cannot touch me. They are long dead. I am the one who runs from both the living and the dead, hunted by scavengers, haunted by those I could not protect. So I exist in this wasteland. A man reduced to a single instinct: survive.
Whoa. So this is what happens when you take nothing more than good old, honest audio engineering into the world of multi-channel. It will make music accurately. It will recreate a movie accurately. No tricks.
Interesting to note, particularly the people in the front rows, I was watching out for, that was playing, if we measure that, that last piece was playing really loud. But I didn't see anybody do that. Why is that? Well, basically us as the speaker guys, we're the, put the speaker drivers in the box, the drivers move air, simple, yeah? But not that simple. The engineering is that we achieve high dynamics and almost immeasurable, very low distortion. It's distortion which makes us go and want to run out of the room. That's at the end of the chain. We have to be a clean window. Just before it, the Arkham Electronics, there's a great synergy. They supply the power and the control to be able to do that. So it's a very, very well balanced system.
Okay, so sadly, in 4 hours' time, we have to take all of this apart. All right, it's going to be a late night. You've been a great audience, and I'd like to make you a special offer. This entire system is 100,000 euros. That includes the cable, projector, the speakers, the screen, everything. As you've been so good, so brilliant, I'm going to make you a special offer. If you want to buy this system right here, right now, I will give you a free Dolby demo disc and a Rubik's Cube. Any takers? It still doesn't work. All right, that just leads me to say, look, thanks for your time. I know it's a bit warm in here, but thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. Thank you.